Hello and welcome to the update from Tau team in May. And without further ado, let's get into your Q&A questions. All right. The first question is from Maiko, and they ask, can you give us a top 3 of industries that Tauchain is to disrupt, and in what manner will it do so?
Top 3 industries that come to mind are the blockchain industry, the software development industry, and tools to organize large organizations. For the blockchain industry, because it is a blockchain that is controlled by its users, something that no one can do. The software industry, because we have a new software specification language that can change the way that people write software and also enables development by consensus. And for large-scale organizations, by the unique form of discussions that Tau has discussions in machine comprehensible languages, and by that the machine is able to help the organization scale.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much, Ahad. And the next question is from Maiko, and they ask, can you explain Tauchain for us like we're 5 years old?
So I would say it's a tool that can, or the world's first tool that can evolve based on how all of its users collaboratively want it to be like, and the users do it by way of simply describing how they want the network to be like.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much, Killian. And the next question is from Santiago, and they ask, I haven't come across anything inside of crypto as well as outside that is as revolutionary as Tauchain. How come that is still so small, not very known? So there were challenges in the initial description of Tau relating to the complexity and making that as simple as possible to understand. And we continue to make Tau as simple as possible to understand for everyone. So as we continue to develop the product and we get to the release phase, we'll make that whole process easier to make more public over time. And the next question is from Soso, and they ask, in the Tau website, it seems that there is much emphasis on trying to sell the unique AI-powered software development tool and some additional services products leveraging the tech. It also feels that Agoras is now a relatively marginal focal point for IDNI. If the majority of tools or services IDNI is offering do not require the usage of Agoras tokens, and IDNI is capable of achieving growth as a company with little regard to the Agoras economy, how could this implicate potentially on token holders' value proposition? Perhaps those who hold a stake in IDNI will see substantial growth, while Agoras buyers who previously helped finance IDNI see less of an upside potential.
The efforts we have right now are fully for the shortest way to the blockchain. So we right now work on the blockchain itself and on the Tau language, which the blockchain has to be powered with. And so the blockchain aspect is on first priority. For the website, it is an attempt, among many attempts, it's ongoing effort to get on board venture capital investments. And for them, usually blockchain is not so appealing, so we try to put the value on the software specification language, the Tau language. But indeed, it is an attempt for this purpose. The main focus is indeed the blockchain.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Ahad. And the next question is from Cubics, and they ask, if Tau will offer a novel or smarter way to create smart contracts due to the ability to ensure contract outcomes and avoiding unwanted outcomes, why not push the ability for layer 2 solutions to be built on top of Tau? It sounds like DeFi would be a good fit to such said capabilities.
Can be, but it will then miss the main goal, which is a blockchain controlled by the users.
And the next question is from Tudor, and they ask, it feels like IDNI is pushing to promote the software generation collaborative development narrative in full force as a traditional startup company. Somehow, though, it feels like the crypto narrative relevant for Agoras has been somewhat left behind, even if we take Tau Live into account. Please comment on this issue. And secondly, they ask, why is there no real effort to put more emphasis on Tau's ability to allow smart contracts, unlike black box traditional smart contracts, which allow for unforeseen, unfavorable outcomes?
Both questions were already answered in the last 2 questions.
All right, fantastic. Thanks so much, Ahad, and thank you much, Tudor. And the next question is from Poncho, and they ask, what is the safest way to store Agoras?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky question. I guess it really depends on your own preferences, and different storage mechanisms have different vulnerabilities. And ultimately, you can store it like you would store any other cryptocurrency. But yeah, it really depends on your own preferences. I don't know. I could give some examples, but yeah, I mean, I don't know.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Killian. And the next question is from Shrifidi, and they ask, how hard is IDNI trying to push market the crypto token Agora side of your business? If a VC invested in IDNI, perhaps that part of your work wouldn't be their main focus of attention and interest. It feels like Agora's got pushed down in priority. There's almost no public exposure. Was there any effort to participate in a major crypto conference? Is this waiting for additional rebranding efforts? Agoras is a huge focus for us. Probably the main thing we're working on right now is the Tauchain, the blockchain of Agoras. And as soon as we can release demos and working versions of Tauchain and Agoras, then absolutely we'll be at conferences and doing as much public exposure as possible. And we've tried to do as much public exposure as possible before, and without the product, it's much more challenging to do. So right now we're working on the demos to be able to do that. And the next question is from Pun Crypto, and they ask, are there any concrete plans to develop more apps, products, and features that will leverage the Agoras token? If I'm not mistaken, there are a few more use cases and products that were mentioned in the past. If so, when could such additional development take place? Perhaps it would be possible to try to interest outside entities to develop additional tools to leverage the tech and give more value to the Agoras token.
Yeah, so the main applications that we spoke about are special kind of contracts, which can include many things, including new form of financial derivatives, as well as knowledge economy, economics of knowledge. Yeah, we will work on it once we have the chain ready.
Thank you very much, Ahad. And the next question is from Voidroid, and they ask, did the Dafni affair get resolved? Could this matter have future implications in regards to decisions and considerations taken by Ahad or other key members and owners?
I and us don't give it any second thought. It's just completely baseless claims by some guy, so it doesn't worth any attention.
Fantastic. And the next question is from Deep.ai. Well, they got two. And they ask, what is taking so long for the patent approval of Tau language? And secondly, what can we expect and what is needed to test from the testnet? Sorry for the new question.
Yeah, so the patent process is well on its way. We have 2 applications in the pipeline and at least one more coming. Patents take a long time. It's a multi-year project, and it's just normal course. Okay, and the second question, or the second part of the question about the test net, once we have that up and running, basically the test net is to demonstrate our ability to implement the consensus mechanism and the block validation code using our own tools and not just the blockchain's native implementation. So that's really where the testing will be focused, is on block validation and consensus.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Karim. And the next question is from Sir Andrew. Good day, Ahad and team. Could you tell us more about software specification language as language extensions in simple terms? Thank you.
Yeah, so one aspect of this is that the software specification language specifies programs that have certain kinds of inputs and outputs, and those inputs and outputs can be sentences in other languages. More generally, you can take virtually any language and that satisfies certain basic requirements and enhance it with all the Tau extensions. And moreover, you can enhance many languages at once.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Ahad. And the next question is from Don Chorizo, and they ask, getting to know what is the wish of many based on calculated consensus is great and valuable, but automatically applying decisions based on that consensus is potentially problematic. It is not clear that a fair consensus system will be better than a meritocracy in which the most qualified, specialized take decisions based on their unique talent and vision and expertise. Would you prefer an Elon Musk at the helm or a general calculation of consensus of many lesser people? Why would we want to lower our most brilliant minds to be calculated as equals to all the rest who are irrelevant, regards lesser and less qualified to take a decision?
That's very true, and precisely for this reason we write Tau. Precisely for this reason we need the law of changing the law, because there is no best law of changing the law. So the users will have to to decide at each point of time what is the best way to take decisions. If there was one best way, then we would take it, but there is no one best way.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Ad. And the next question is from Alice, and they ask, can you tell me more about the Nvidia Inception program? Do you receive funding or research support from them? Will there be any new articles, interviews with Nvidia in the future? The Nvidia Inception program so far has been quite slow. We have reached out to their team and the uptake from their side has been slower. We are waiting for some feedback from them in terms of connections to their team who predominantly work on formal methods, which is what we do. The next question is from Omni User, and they ask, for example, Tau Mainnet is launched today. What is the best thing to do if one wants to get the bonus and Agoras tokens are stored in the Omniwallet? So if you've been correctly holding your Omni tokens and storing them according to the bonus requirements, we will be holding a token swap from your Omni token and the ERC20 tokens to the future Agoras coin. And the next question is from Sir Andrew, and he asks, good day, everyone and TML devs. When I run TML programs on the web, tml.tau.net, at the present, is my laptop doing the heavy lifting of processing it? Or is it done on a web server and we have to wait for TML final version to do it on my laptop? Thank you.
Yeah, there is no computation on our servers. When you enter the page tml.tau.net, the browser downloads TML compiled as WebAssembly. And when you run TML program, no data is sent to our servers and the program is executed in your browser on your computer.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Tomasz. And the next question is from James, and they ask, what will be the key features of testnet? Will users be able to describe how they want a network to be like, and Tau will then be able to calculate the consensus and update itself automatically based on the overall consensus? Well, Karim has already answered that question in the Q&A. Cheers. And this question is from James, and they ask, when can we expect testnet to be launched? At which stage of development is it right now?
Okay, yes. Thank you, Fola, and thank you, James, for asking the question. Testnet is very far along in development. We've done some integrations with TML already, and we estimate that should be ready in Q3, but we're not sure that's going to be released because our real goal is to integrate TauNet with Tau itself, which would be Q4 or maybe even Q1 of 2024.
All right, fantastic. Thanks so much, Karim. And the next question is from Curious George, and they have two questions actually. One is, how can a person make sure that his private data is kept secure in Tau? What level of guarantee can Tau give?
You will have to define in the Tau language what it means to keep private data secure, and whatever you define in the Tau language is guaranteed to happen.
Amazing, thanks, Ad. And his second question is, how can Tau solve the AI alignment problem? Even the father of AI, Dr. Geoffrey Hilton, who just resigns from Google, doesn't know how to solve.
It's a problem for people from the world of machine learning, but in logical AI, it's much less of a problem. In logical AI, you just say the thing and give meaning to it, and that's what probably happens.
All right, and the next question is from Times10, and they ask, for those who dedicate their time and effort to understand and learn Tau, what advantage can you see with these guys?
They will get to make less mistakes.
All right, fantastic. And the last question is from Zandy, and they ask, what are the social effects of Tau over the world compared with OpenAI with large language models that are very important to know?
OpenAI and other machine learning tools, they spread, one social aspect is spreading information mixed with misinformation, while on Tau, because Tau cannot contain contradictions, the amount of information will be much less.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ahad. All right, and that is it from us on the Q&A. Tune in to our business team and our development team updates. Cheers.